and I was like, this is a good sign.
Yeah. It's a musical earworm thing,
Don't do it too often because it'll get annoying.
Right.
Trust me. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The new melody that you heard it was presented as a nigun is a melody that I've written for this evening's service. It's going to be the Micha Mocha, and this is my thank you to my dear friend Rabbi Mark, and my gift to everybody. So you always have a nice song to remember our time together. And also the candle blessing I've also dedicated to Dr. Ray Irwin. So I hope you'll enjoy that. But let's just sing the melody. So when we get to Micha Mocha Ba'alimado, you can kind of come along with it. But we'll just do it in the lai part. La 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 la. One more time. La 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 la.
Cantor, how does that fit with Micha Mocha?
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, oh sefele, Nora tehilot, oh sefele. And then la la la. And so please join along when we get to that part of the service.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Cantor, for that catchy little ditty. Nice to have you all here tonight. As welcome to all of you who are watching us on YouTube. For your information, next Friday night will be a Sisterhood Shabbat. The Sisterhood Dinner and Kabbalat Shabbat will all be in the social hall, so next week we will not be streaming the service. Please remember that, because we love having you watch us, but unfortunately we do not have streaming capability in the social hall. Tomorrow evening is confirmation and a Shavuot celebration at 7:30. We have 3 confirmants this year, so please come out and wish them well in their future endeavors. I want to thank Cantor Can as we say farewell to him. He'll be here, of course, tomorrow night. I thank you for all the new music you brought to us, your own compositions, and I thank you for the exposure to different Jewish music when you were doing the Havdalah in song. That was an interesting and delightful adventure, and I thank you for presenting that. We've been happy to have you here, and we thank you for your service. And we welcome back Dr. Ray Irwin. Bienvenue. He just had a terrible time in France with all that food and the wine and his daughter's graduation. Yeah, it's just he couldn't wait to come home. But we're happy to have you back. And thank you, as always, to Rabbi Mark and to our technical team, Phil Carey, David Youngman, and Chris Jastrock. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much, Dina, for sharing those announcements with us. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to those of us here, those of us joining on our YouTube channel. Those of you at home might want to make sure you have some candles set out, some challah, some wine, or other favorite Shabbat beverage. When we do our blessings, we welcome you to light your candles and partake of challah and juice, wine, or, again, your favorite Shabbat beverage while you're at home. We have, one moment, we have Shabbat greetings from Jeff and Wilma Shear, Rita and Bob Rubin, and Leslie Berger. And thank you very much for your continued support of our Shabbat greetings program. Jeff is a past president of our congregation, current board member. Rita will be a new board member for us. And Leslie Berger is a past president and current board member as well. So thank you very much for your continued support. And to Micah and Hilda Sugarman, in honor of Cole and Crispy Sugarman, Colin Kimmard's graduation taking place. So wonderful. Happy celebration and mazel tov to you all on the graduation. And thank you for the lovely flowers adorning our bima this evening. Shabbat gives us the opportunity to, once again, welcome a dear friend back into our lives. Shabbat is a presence for us. It is God's presence. It is the Shekhinah. It is the presence of peace, of wholeness, of contentment. It is the presence of rest, of joy, and of celebration. It is all of those things combined. But because it is a weekly holiday, 52 times a year, it's kind of hard to remain enthusiastic every Friday to welcome Shabbat into our lives. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, once a year. Sukkot, once. Passover, once. Not a problem. We can pull out all the stops for those holidays once a year. Shabbat, every week. Every week? Every week. But yes, every week we have a chance to celebrate a holiday, to recognize creation, to take stock of ourselves, to pull the very fractured parts of our lives back together again. This is what Shabbat affords us. This is an antidote in the world of constant consumerism and constant doing. Shabbat is truly the antidote. Gives us a chance just to rest, to look at ourselves, to look at our lives, to ask ourselves those tough questions that we don't have time to ask during the week because we're busy. There's all kinds of things going on. Shabbat is that time to do that. It is all the holidays rolled up into one. It is Rosh Hashanah because we've come to the end of a week and the beginning of a week. It is Yom Kippur because we can take time that week and make amends for the mistakes that we have made. It is Sukkot. It is Thanksgiving for creation, for this bountiful planet, for our ability to comprehend and to engage the world. It is Hanukkah, rededication. Shabbat gives us that time to rededicate ourselves. It is Tu B'Shvat, because we are aware of creation. It is Passover, because we are liberated from the clock. We can do whatever we want to do on Shabbat, which is to make it holy. And so we welcome this Shabbat, this friend, this culmination of all the holidays of our year into this one day. May the rest and quiet of this hour of worship refresh our inner life. and renew in us the sense of holiness. Fill our hearts with Shabbat peace and serenity that we may hear the voice of our innermost soul and be moved to build our lives on the abiding foundations of all that is holy. That is what Shabbat must be for us. Not to tear the world apart, not to wrestle with time, but to let warmth and care and light come forth from deep within ourselves. We welcome this Shabbat with the singing of Shalom Aleichem, our opportunity to acknowledge all of the messengers that have traveled with us this past week, last month, last year, those messengers of flesh and blood, those messengers of spirit, those messengers of memories. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Eyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Eyon, Melech, Malachei Hamelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei, Malachei Eyon, Melech, Malachei Hamelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Eyon, Melech, Malachei Hamelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei Hamelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Melech, Malachei Hamelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue our service with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. I invite Julie Nolte, our religious school teacher, our Hebrew lab teacher, wonderful member of our congregation, and about to add to our congregation one more, a Yankee Doodle baby, to lead us in the reading over our candles and the blessing over our Shabbat candles.
As the great doors of night are opening, we come into the clean, quiet room of Shabbat. Let us be thankful as we light these candles like eyes of holiness for this moment of peace. Let us savor the fruit of the vine, the blood of the earth that quickens us. Let us be thankful for grain, fruit of grasses that feed the cow, the gazelle, and us. Let us be grateful for the children and the work of the week that are our own fruitfulness. Let us never forget that food comes from the earth. We must cherish and heal. Through labor, we must respect and reward. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, source of all being, who calls us to holy acts through mitzvot, and inspires us to kindle these lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik nesher Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat.
And Julie, if I might just take this moment. Mishaberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. V'yivarech, Julie, sorry. May the one who blessed our ancestors, may the one who blessed our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Julie as she continues her pregnancy. May the pregnancy continue without complications. May the delivery be short. And may she and Brian, Leonard, and Carl be blessed with this new life and to build a family celebrating Judaism, God, tradition, peace. And may you be blessed with wholeness and with health and with healing. And let us all say,
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Speaking and listening are both endangered activities in our culture. There is so much information exchange each day, each hour. We could even add each minute and second that it is hard to pay attention to our speech. Are we saying what we really need to say? Are we speaking from the heart? Do we know when not to speak? And as for listening, who can hear anything amid all the noise around us these days? There is such a flood of messages coming in. How can we discern which are important? In prayer, we speak from the heart. It does not matter if we are sure who is listening, if we don't understand how prayer is supposed to work, if we're not certain we even believe in prayer at all. For moments at a time, we can set our questions aside and just say what we need to say. What a relief. What a relief to be able to speak as loudly as we want or as softly, without worrying about being understood, without anticipating the other's response. Jewish practice gives us ways to speak and ways to listen. when we need to speak to God, when we are too filled with joy or with despair to hear anything but what is in our own hearts, then it is time to pray. I invite us to rise as we are able for our Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
La 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 la. Baruch et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam vaed. La 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 la.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvona meshanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, Uma'avir yom u'mevi laila, uma'avdil ben yom u'vein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimlo chalenu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Ahavat olam. נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נחגה יומם ולילה.
You, the one from whom on different paths all of us have come, and to whom on different paths all of us are going, make strong in our hearts what unites us. Help us to build bridges across what divides us. United, help us to rejoice in our diversity, at one in our witness to your peace, a rainbow of your glory.
Shema
We may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
If people fall, can they not also rise? If they break away, can they not return? The stork in the sky knows when to migrate. The dove and the swallow know the season of return. What human instinct knows the time to turn back? What sparks the conscience? We pray to sense this day anew, attuned to the all of sacred living.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נור התהילות אוסף פלא, נור התהילות אוסף פלא. לה 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 בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי, זה לי. אנו ואמרו, אדוני, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. It's a ditty.
I'm just thinking, so 6 months from now, as that melody is still boring around in my head, I can give you a call and we can sing it together.
Sure, or you never want to talk to me again. No,
No, it's a great
don't
melody.
overdo this one. It's a little. It'll
It's very good.
nice every once in a while.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that beautiful gift. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace, but teach us that peace means more than quiet. Remind us that if we are to be at peace at night, we must take heed how we live by day. Grant us the peace that comes from honest dealing so that no fear of discovery will haunt our sleep. Rid us of resentments and hatreds that rob us of the peace that we crave, and liberate us from enslaving habits that disturb us and give us no rest. May we inflict no pain and bring no shame and seek no profit from another's loss. May we so live that we can face the whole world with serenity. May we feel no remorse at night, O God, for what we have done during the day. May we lie down in peace tonight and awaken it tomorrow to a richer and to a fuller life. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim, L'chaim Uveros aleinu Sukat Shelomecha V'takenenu B'tzah tova Ilfanecha V'hoshienu Leman Shemecha V'hagen ba'deinu Ve'aser me'aleinu Oyev dev v'cherev rav v'yagon Oyev dev v'cherev v'yagon V'chorkeinu mimenu avon v'afesha Uvetzel kenafecha tastirenu Ki el shomrenu matzilenu atav Ki ushmor tzetenu voreinu L'chaim shalom me'ata ve'ad olam Ushmor tzetenu voreinu Baruch atah Adonai Haporei sukat shalom aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael
We give thanks to you, O God, for this Shabbat day, which brings us together as a community of faith and of hope. For the holiness of Shabbat, which can lead us to fulfill the best that is in us, we give thanks. For the memories of Shabbat enriched by generations of our people who observed it, and from it drew courage to face hardship and light, to banish darkness, we are truly grateful. We offer thanks for the peace of Shabbat, the day consecrated to family love. O God, our turning to you uplifts our humanity. You are the joy of our life, the source of its greatness, its power, and its beauty. Help us, O God, to find inspiration for the coming week. Help us to find peace within ourselves and with one another.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Our fathers and mothers prayed, each through their own experience of God, each through their own visions which we have come to share. Abraham, with the fervor of justice, pleaded the cause of cities. Sarah, in the pain of waiting, dared to hope for new life. Isaac, meditating alone in the field, lifted his eyes to find love. Rebekah asked for the ability to discern God's call. Jacob climbed the rungs of his night into heaven seeking destiny. Leah dreamed of love, and Rachel sought harmony. We, as they, seek God's presence. As we turn now to our tefillah, our opportunity to connect with our prayers, to connect with our past, to reflect on God, on life, on our chain of tradition. These words challenge us, not only in being able to speak them, but they challenge us to sort through the attic in our minds, to blow the dust off of the various corners of our spiritual life that we have not spent time with. I invite us to rise as we are able, as we continue with the words of our tefillah.
La 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 Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'koneh HaKol V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye Akol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim Somech nofelim berofei cholim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha bagevurot Umidom elach Melech memit umechaya umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata achayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We may be seated. From the cowardice that shrinks from new truth, from the laziness that is content with half-truths, from the arrogance that thinks it knows all truths, O God of truth, deliver us. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod.
מודים אנחנו לך שאתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו לעולם ועד. מודים אנחנו לך צור חיינו מגן ישענו אתה הוא לדור ודור. מודים אנחנו לך לעולם ועד. For the sun that rises in the east, for the sea that roars a prayer, for the stillness of a snowfall, for the breath of autumn air, for the grasp within my fingers, for the mind that makes me whole, for the voice that God has given me to speak the truth within my soul. modim, anachnu lach, modim, anachnu lach, modim, anachnu lach, leolam va'ed. Ve'al ve'anisecha, שבכל יום עמנו, שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלאותיך וטובותיך, ערב הבוקר בצהריים. For the laughter of the children, for the way they greet the day. With their endless stream of questions, they remind us how to play. And for the ones we call beloved, who take away our fear, they tell us without saying it, remember I am here. Remember I am here. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach, leolam va'ed. Tzur chayenu, magen yishenu, atahu ledor vador. Modim anachnu lach, leolam va'ed.
Very pretty, very nice. Holy One, give me a quiet heart and help me to hear the still small voice that speaks within me. That voice calls me to come close to you and to grow in your likeness. That voice teaches me to do my work faithfully even when no one's eye is upon me. That voice counsels me to judge others kindly and to love them freely, for it persuades me to see the divinity in everyone I meet. Help me, O God, to come to the end of each day feeling that I used its gifts wisely and that I faced its trials bravely.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim le'olam. בכל שעה בשלומך.
We extend our prayers of peace, not only to those who have gathered here in our sanctuary, to those who are viewing us on YouTube, but we want to spread that as far and as wide as we possibly can to include all whose peace has been disturbed, maybe even shattered by the challenges that they are facing. The words to our Mishe Berach give us the opportunity to express our hope and our prayers and our concerns for those who are facing challenges to their health, their bodies, and their minds. May all who are facing just such challenges find themselves on a journey that will bring them to a refuah shlema, a return to the wholeness they seek, the shalom that they desire. Baruch atah Adonai rofei hacholim. We praise you, O God, who helps us bring hope and healing to those who are in need. And let us say, Amen.
מי שברך אבותינו ואימותינו, אברהם ושרה, משה, אהרון ומרים, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. לברכי שרה, Julian and Ada, heal them and bless them with strength and spirit, with courage and grace, with laughter and life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, restore them like streams in the desert. Heal them with body and spirit. Strengthen them with patience and guard them with compassion. Renew their vision and bless them with peace. Birfuat ha-nefesh urvat ha-guf venomar Amen.
We prepare for a special moment during our worship service, a time when we stop with the outward expression of words and of music so that we might instead listen to the innermost parts of our beings, our hearts and our souls. To bring us into this time of quietude and reflection, I share this thought. If I could reach that certain star and make a wish so true, it would not just be a wish for me, but a wish for all of you. In a world so full of problems, my wish would be for peace. People of all nations joining hands, not wanting to escape or to be released. War, crime, and destruction, these three words we use and hear every day. If I had that one wish, these three words would be wiped away. Countries would no longer be at war. People would be good to each other. We were all created equal. God said to love one another. So if I had that one wish, it would be for peace, not sorrow. This way, children just like you and me would have a future. We would all have a tomorrow. And so we pause for a moment of silent meditation. Cantor Ken, thank you so very, very much for all of the music you have brought to our congregation during your time with us. It has been an honor and a pleasure to share the Bima with you. And I am grateful for all of your hard work on behalf of our congregation. Having to step in to a facility during COVID-19 lockdown was no easy task. We began our journey together here with an empty sanctuary. Just you and me, David and Chris, Phil in Washington, Ray on the Clavinova, and all of us watching on YouTube. That's a hard way to get to know someone, on YouTube. On a screen with all of those barriers, your warmth and your gregariousness and your humor is hard to translate through the internet feed. And yet you rose to that challenge tremendously. You embraced our students and their work for their B'nai Mitzvot. You embraced our students in Zoom sessions with music when we were isolated. You have embraced our congregation, and we likewise have embraced you. We will miss you. We are grateful for the music that you have brought to our congregation, and we are so grateful that you have found a place closer for you, both geographically and in distance, to make your Shabbat a little less stressful. So we have enjoyed our time with you and wish you b'hatzlacha, much success in your future. Change is often very difficult, and we as human beings don't always like changes. We kind of like things the way they are. We don't necessarily want them to change, even if it might be for the better. Before wanting to become a rabbi, Deb and I spent time backpacking through Europe. We had graduated college. This was 1982. The economy was not so good, for those of us who may recall. Interest rates on credit cards and car loans was at 18%. And yes, there was the SNL debacle, there was the fuel debacle, there was always some political crisis going on. Jobs in public relations, the field of which I had studied and graduated from the Ohio State University, were hard to come by. Professions in journalism were even now all that harder, but then they were particularly difficult as well. So we decided that we would give it one more week. There was no internet back then. We would give it one more week of job searching, of dropping off resumes, of mailing resumes, of calling various companies. We would give it one more week. And then, if we didn't have a job, we would work our tuchas off. We would pick up as many shifts as we could in the restaurant. I picked up another job, and we would work and save money so that we could go travel. And that's what we did. 2 months backpacking through Europe, starting in London. You know, when you go to Europe, it's good for Americans to stop in England. We might be the same language separated by an ocean, but nonetheless, it was a very comfortable way to ease in. With our backpack and our Euro pass, we traveled from England through Europe. We went to the Netherlands, we went to France and Germany and Italy and Spain and Greece. We traveled through Liechtenstein. That's just a short stop. Switzerland. It was fun. On our way, our goal was to get to Israel. Never been there. Why not? We're traveling. Worked out an arrangement to go live on a kibbutz outside of Netanya, Kibbutz Ha'ogen. This was our intense immersion into Israeli society on a kibbutz. And when we got there, no one knew where we were supposed to go. The taxi driver just kind of dropped us off. We're there with our backpacks and wandering around, and we find somebody, and finally we get to where we're going. It's a kibbutz ulpan program, so you work half the day and you study half the day. My assignment, kelim gedolim. Oh, sounds impressive. Kelim gedolim, something you could say with great pride. And what do you do? Oh, I do kelim gedolim. Pots and pans.
Yep.
Yes. I and another volunteer, we scrubbed pots and pans for a kibbutz of 800 souls. 3 meals a day, and I'm in the dishwasher. They find out I have restaurant experience. The manager of the mitbach, of the kitchen, tosses me his keys and says, I'm training to run in the Israeli Olympics, so see ya. And the kibbutzim, the kibbutzniks would come to me, Anachnu tzrichim gezarim. Huh? What? And so I learned, my vocabulary was extensive when it came to food. I could not direct anyone to any place. I could not ask where the bathrooms were, but I could tell you what was on the menu, and I could order food for any setting totally in Hebrew. And I was always very puzzled with these meals. We would have, there would be great chicken dishes, but weird pieces. You would get the back of a chicken. You'd get the knuckle of the leg and the thigh. And you'd kind of get sort of a piece of the breast with the wing. Israelis, especially Israelis on kibbutzim, especially Israelis on kibbutzim who are home from their IDF time, think that we Americans know nothing. And so I was assigned to help Yoel with the cutting of the chicken. 800, right? For cutting chicken. Huge bandsaw. Goggles, rubber gloves. Let me show you how we do cut up chickens here. Is zoom, zoom, zoom. You cut it like this, and you have 9 pieces. Now I know why we eat the backs. I said, well, let me show you how we do it in the States. You take the chicken, fing, you cut it in half. Here where the thigh connects you, fing, you cut to that. And here where the leg and the thigh, fing, and you get 6 pieces. Oh my God, it's genius, fabulous, wonderful, oh boy. So we cut the chicken up that way. The breasts were a little big, so we also cut them in half. So we got 8 pieces, a little better than 9. And that night in the kibbutz Cheder Ochel, there was a fight. How dare we waste all this chicken? What is this chicken? How you blew our budget. No, we didn't blow the budget at all. We used the same number of chickens we do every meal. We just cut it differently. Once they realized that we were using the same number of chickens, but just cut a little differently, it was a joyous celebration. The manager, the manahel of our mitbach, of the kitchen, he was a hero. And I never had to do another kelim gedolim. And to this very day, I think they're still getting 6 or 8 pieces out of a chicken at kibbutz ha'ogen in their cheder ochel. We don't always like change, even if it's sometimes for the better, or maybe not. But truly, change is the only constant. There have been many rabbis here at Temple Beth Or. There have been many cantors here at Temple Beth Or. We are on a journey. And during our journey, our paths cross for a little while. And in each other's presence, we learn, we live, we celebrate, we rejoice. And sometimes the time comes when our journeys must separate. But Jews never say goodbye. Shalom does not mean goodbye. Shalom means peace. We know that. We use it when we greet people, and we use it when we are parting. But Jews don't say goodbye. We say lihitrot. Until we see you again, Cantor Ken Jaffe. Thank you. It is the first Friday of June. That means birthdays, anniversaries, mortgage burnings, final car payments, student loan payments, whatever you're celebrating. If you are celebrating something this month, please join the Cantor, Ray, and I on the bima so that we might acknowledge what it is that you are celebrating. It's hard to dodge her when she's right there, you know. And while she is the Jaffe here. So the microphone will come to you. Please tell us your name, what you're celebrating, and if you are so brave to do so, how many years you have been celebrating this wonderful occasion.
My name is Leslie Berger, and my birthday is on Monday, June 6th, and I'll be 69.
Mazel tov.
My name is Mila Tsirdin, and I'm celebrating my grandson Kavi's graduation from University of Riverside.
Very good. Mazel tov. Congratulations.
I'm Chris Jastrock. This is my wife, Dina, and I'll let her do the honors.
That's because he can't remember. On June 29th, we will be celebrating our 48th anniversary.
Wow. Mazel tov.
Yeah, my name's Joe Manriquez. As of today, it's been 25 years since I converted over to Judaism.
All right. Mazel tov, Joe.
And
Welcome.
I have my certificate too.
You have your papers. In addition, we want to acknowledge the following who are also celebrating anniversaries this month.
I didn't hear what you
Morris
said.
and Maxine Roshberg, Stan and Phyllis Nathanson, Barry and Sandy Lakin, Derek Johnson and Kimberly Gimbel Johnson, Christopher and Lydia Garcia, Eddie and Celia Goldstein, Jeff and Sandy Strauss, Ellis and Gail Porter, Fred and Ruth Malkin, Tim and Lori Rosenfeld, Alex and Chrissy Horowitz, Harold and Helen Cohen, Andre and Shayna Charles, Chris and Dina Jastrock. And the following are having birthdays this month. Leah Milhander, Lila Mayernick, Miriam Brookfield, Nathaniel Mayton, Leslie Berger, Sharon Kravitz, Lillian Mignella, right? No? She is? Yeah. Your daughter, that's why I looked at you. Ricky Seen, Gilbert Delgado, Karen Katz, Eliana Zwern, Leonard Nolte, Toby Porter, Christopher Garcia, Maxine Gimbel, Lauren Greenbaum, Melissa Rudolph, Terry Levoot, Iris Tesler, Tim Green, Carol Brennan, James Greenspan, Samantha Kotkin, River Lavendera, Cheryl Maradiegi, and Rebecca Mayernick, and Jaden Johnson. So for all of these wonderful birthdays, anniversaries, and 25 years having since embraced Judaism, we join with our cantor in the singing of our Shehechianu, our prayer of gratitude and thanksgiving. Mazel tov, everyone. Mazel tov and congratulations. Thank you very much. With that, we move to the conclusion of our worship service with the words of our Aleinu. The adoration can be found on the screen in front of you as I invite us to rise as we are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד. Ushemo Echad, Ushemo Echad.
Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, those who live on in our hearts and our memories and in the place we call Olam Haba, the world to come. We call to mind those for whom we are observing yahrzeit, the anniversaries of their death having occurred during this past week. Van P. Kennedy, Oscar Richards, Richard A. Krug, May L. Miller, Rebecca Schreier, Hilda Landau Sanders, Rena Joy Pakula Klein, Maurice Rosenfeld, Joseph Rosen, Rose Solomon, Irving Drobny, Abraham Alberts, Benjamin Levinson, Al Tobin, Julie Morgan, Dick Goodman, Saul Young, Jacob Rosen, Marjorie Klein, and Ida Sandow Koizem. To their names, we link the names of those for whom we are observing the Kaddish period: Mark Bornstein, Leah Levine, Vicky Emery, Sheldon Zinberg, Evelyn Levin, Gloria Austin, Dee Dee Ginter, Dorothy Bernard, Molly Shartoff, Erica Cherie Barnes, Kaylee Goldstein, Craig Wilford, Fred Fink, Joyce Ulibari, Ralph Goldstein, Marvin Asnes, Joel Jaffe, Norma Lippy, Claire Phillips, David Kaplan, Elaine Lieberman, Laura Cutler, Marty Hershkowitz, Dottie Roth, and Gerald Kramer. If there's a loved one whom you are remembering, I invite you to share that name at this time. To those that we have named aloud and to those that we keep named in the quiet places of our hearts and memories, we link as well the names and memories of the men and women of our armed forces who have given their lives for our liberties and our freedoms, those who have given their lives for our safety here at home, members of our police, our firefighters and other first responders, the members of the Israeli Defense Forces who have given their lives for the hope of peace. As well, we call to mind the over 1 million Americans who have died from this COVID-19 pandemic, and just this past week, the 800 Americans who died by gun violence in this country. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be for a blessing and be a source of courage and inspiration for us as we share together the words of our Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha berichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May all of us...
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael,
May all of us who mourn and all of us who are bereaved, may we find through God's eternal presence a source of strength, courage, and hope, above all a source of shalom, of peace. And let us say, amen. We may be seated as the Cantor and I will share Kiddush here. And when you enter our social hall, you are welcome to grab a glass of juice or wine, as is your preference. Symbol of joy, may we find strength and joy on this Shabbat together as a community as we join with our Cantor in the words of our Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. ושנה במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. Got it?
Also wish to extend special thanks to Leslie Berger, Joe Teas, for help with the Oneg, Victoria Jacobs, there you are, and Harry Jacobs, help with the doorways, and I'm sorry, Mila, also with the Oneg, thank you, and Reina, yes, thank you, that's right, Reina helped to bring up our juice and our wine here on the Bima as well. Are there others? Thank you all very much for pitching in and enabling us to share a Shabbat and an Oneg and enter our house of worship in safety. Thank you all very, very much. We conclude our service with the singing of Adon Olam. I invite us to rise as we are able. If you are comfortable holding the hand of some, yes, we've got that. And you'll get some too. If you feel comfortable putting your hand on the shoulder of someone next to you or holding the hand of someone who needs to remain seated, please feel free to do so as we conclude with the singing of a nice, peppy version
Yes.
of Adon Olam.
Great.
A very peppy version. One familiar to us.
Adon Olam, Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzin ivra le'ed nasa v'chefzo kol Azai melech shemo nikra אחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzin yivra le'et nasa v'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado yimlok nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove ve'hu yiyeh b'tifara Adon olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzin yivra le'et nasa v'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado yimlok nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove b'tifara ve'hu haya ve'hu בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשיל לו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום הקרב Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'yetnasa v'chefzo kol azom shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu ove ve'hu yiyeh b'tifara Adon olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'yetnasa v'chefzo kol azom melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu ove b'tifara ve'hu haya ve'hu ove b'tifara b'yado afkid ruchi beit ishan ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira Adon olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'yetnasa v'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu ove ve'hu yiyeh b'tifara Adon olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'yetnasa v'chefzo kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu ove b'tifara ve'hu haya ve'hu ove
My fingers got a little fast there and a little sluggish.
Between the singing of it,
Singing and
doing
tapping, we join in our motzi as we welcome this opportunity of Shabbat and camaraderie in the social hall.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Bon appetit. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
And now you want the catering.